Okay, now that we've had a chance to write down what we believe symbolism to be in our own words in our writer's notebooks, and we've had a chance to discuss it as a class, we're going to look at a more formal, more direct definition of symbolism. At this point, if you all want to get out a writer's notebook or you want to take notes on your laptop, I would do so. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start presenting. So symbolism refers to the usage of symbols in literary works such as poems, novels, and plays. Remember, we're looking specifically at something rotten, so we're going to be looking for symbols in that novel specifically. And symbolism is a literary device. We've talked about literary devices in our class before. This is going to be another one of those. Remember, literary devices are used by writers to enhance their writing and convey ideas and meanings. So when you're reading, keep that in mind that the author is using symbols at times to represent something or to convey a meaning. He's doing it to enhance his or her writing. And you all may do that as writers. If you write creatively, you may want to represent something through a symbol. All right. So we're going to look at what a symbol is. A symbol is something that stands for or represents something else, and it's usually beyond literal meaning. So what I mean by that is it's usually written as an abstract concept. So maybe I'm writing a book about an evil villain, and I'm trying to figure out a way to represent the fact that he's evil in a symbol. Now, maybe I try to think of things that are usually seen as evil or dark. So maybe I have him dress in dark clothing. Maybe I have my villain wear all black. All right. And not saying that every single time a character or a person wears black that they're evil, but that is representative of dark things. All right. So it depends on the context of the book, and it also depends on the author's meaning, what they're trying to convey. And in literature, a symbol can be a word, an object, maybe it's an action, a character, or a concept that embodies additional meanings and significance. So a few symbols in the real world that we see almost daily, I listed down below. It's our little recycling logo, and we see that probably, in, I hope, in every one of your classrooms. We have one in mine in the corner. We have a recycling bin with a little logo on it, and we have the regular trash can. That's how people, that and the color, that's how people know to recycle and which bin. All right, we have our little Wi-Fi and our Bluetooth symbol, and if you follow my mouse here, I don't know if it's gonna get bigger, there it is. We have the Wi-Fi symbol and the Bluetooth symbol. I'm sure you all see that on your phones or your iPads, maybe your iPods if you all still have those. And then this last symbol I was not familiar with until I moved to Pennsylvania, and that is the no U-turn sign. In New Jersey, we make jug handles, so we have a different little method to our madness over there. And this is obviously, all these traffic symbols are also very important to know. So that's representative of symbol today. And before we take a look at symbolism and something rotten, like we're going to be doing, we're going to do a brief activity with symbolism. So you guys downloaded Keynote last night, all right? You downloaded Keynote for homework, and we're going to be using that program to create what I'm going to call our symbolism page or individual symbolism page. And if you look closely, I wrote my name down on this page, and all these little symbols are representative of something of me. But what's important to note is that we don't take the literal meaning from all of them. So for instance, I put a weight, not because I am a heavyweight world champion. I put it to represent my strength as a person, my strength and perseverance. And then I also did the mountain down here to represent my love of nature and exploring, right? I didn't do it because I love mountains or because I think mountains are cool. No, I did it because I like to explore and I'm really adventurous. All right. I'll give you guys a few more examples. All right. We have a little telescope here, and I did that to represent, does anyone have any ideas? I did it to represent my curiosity. I'm always looking beyond. I'm really a curious person. A lot of the times, if you see me on my laptop during a break, it's because I'm looking up a bunch of weird little questions I have. All right. We also have the sun, and that to me represents positivity. So instead of doing, a happy face or anything like that, I chose to represent my positivity as a person and a teacher in the classroom. as the little sun. I think we could all use a little bit of positivity since we're all coming up on our final projects and stuff and the school year's winding down. We need to, stay strong here. Okay, so now that I've showed you my example, we're going to move into the Keynote app so I can show you guys how I went from, a blank screen to that little page there. So we're going to open up Keynote, and it looks like a little blue plate sort of thing. We're going to open that up. And here you're given just a blank sheet, right? You're starting with nothing. And the first thing that you want to think about is what you want your background to be. And you can very well keep it white. You don't have to be all fancy with it. But if you wanted to change the background color, you would go over to background, and we have all these different colors over here, right? So say I want to do, and keep in mind though, you don't want to do a color that's going to clash with all your symbols. You want to be methodical about your shape, your symbol color, and your background color. So I want to keep it a little bit simple. Last time I think I did pink. So this time I'm going to go for a gray. No particular reason, although this could symbolize something, the color. And then the second thing we're going to look at is we're going to want to write our name on this page, because remember, it's our individual symbols and page. We're writing this or doing this so that we can represent ourselves. So we want to make it clear who we are representing. So I'm going to write my name, Miss Whalen. And this is another cool feature. If you highlight this, you can go over to text up top. And I think I want to make it bold. And I think I'm going to choose, maybe you want to represent that you're a fun person, but you want to represent it in the font, right? You're not going to pick a real formal font if you're trying to represent that you're a fun, lighthearted person. So maybe you're going to do something a little bit less conventional, right? That's a fun font. And then one other thing you can do is you can pick a color. So maybe I want to do, let's do a blue. I feel like that would look nice against the gray. And we're going to do, let's see, we're going to just fiddle with this. Maybe you want to align it different. That's how you do that. And maybe you want to underline it. So there's a bunch of different features here. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. That's just your name. And then this is how you get all the symbols. So you want to go to shapes. And if you look down all the way over here, there's different things. So you can go to nature. That's where I found that mountain. You can do science to represent, maybe you want to do the curiosity thing like I did. You want to pick maybe, let's do, what would be a good way to represent that? Maybe a brain. You want to show that you're a curious person. You're a wanderer. All right, so I'm going to do a brain. And then let's do another example. Maybe you want to show that you're a really welcoming and inclusive person. So you want to think about how you would represent that. Maybe I'll represent that through like holding hands. Let's see if they have a hand symbol. And you can do that by searching up top. So for my last little example, I'm just going to do a hand. I'm going to do another hand. You can change the size by clicking on it and dragging on these little arrows. So I'm going to do two hands together. You can go to fill. Let's do, there we go. We'll do a pink hand. We'll do a green hand. All right, and that's how you do that. So you guys are going to have about 10 to 15 minutes to complete this. It's supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to stress you out. It's just a little thing to represent you as a person through symbols so that we can get a better look at symbols when we start reading our novel. All right, have fun.